Hello, everyone. And
Hello. Welcome to the MLL show. I'm your trigger man, David. This is my spotter, Justin.
Spotter, okay.
Yeah,
Spotter. Better than Dragger.
Better than the Dragger.
Turn this volume down. Okay. So normally I do the intro. So what's up here, man? Is there something we need to talk about?
I was just feeling a little left out, man. Sitting over here as a shadow. I thought I'd steal your glory right there.
I walked in, and I was sitting here just, minding my own business. David walked in wearing the hat, and he had his age written on the back of his shirt, and I was just trying to figure out what was going on.
My age on the back of the shirt. Come on, man.
I'm just saying. But anyways, that was it. I like being, what was it, spotter?
Yeah.
Spotter.
That's
See, the
good,
trigger
huh?
man, I'll be the spotter.
You just know why I dressed up?
Why did you dress
I
up?
thought you dressed up too. I was hoping you would. Don't you remember who we have on tonight? Mark Byrne.
You know
the
what?
Mark Byrne.
This is the first time I've wore my favorite hoodie on this shirt, on this show. So I think Mark, he should feel lucky. This is my favorite hoodie, Mark.
All right.
It says Fox Pro.
A little disappointed in your dress-up gear, but
You're right. Mark Byrne, that's a big deal.
it is a big
Let
deal.
me see. We have a follow. There's some people watching right now, so that's cool.
Right on.
Mark, you've drew a following, buddy. You must be a big deal. But just everyone, hey, back home, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We wanna let you know that we're gonna be interviewing. Interviewing Mark Byrne today. He's from Owen County, Indiana, and this young man.
Young man.
He told me I could.
Maybe I'm wearing his age on my shirt.
He told me, actually, he would probably be happy with that.
Probably. Yeah.
He told me I didn't have to take it too easy on him. But Mark and we talked on the phone last night for a long time. I already love the guy. He lives in Owen County, Indiana, and he is a Hoosier record book measurer. So, and I've never met him in person. This guy's been fortunate enough to meet him in person because he had to take a buck to him to. Yep. Did you make it in the book?
Well, after this show, we told him that as long as he added 10 more inches onto my buck.
Yes. To throw his name out here on the podcast.
Yes, that I would be in the book. And
then you're in the book. And he was going to pay for it too, right?
Yes.
That's a heck of a deal.
I couldn't believe it. I was so
Mark
impressed.
Byrne is a very good man.
Yes, he is.
He's a very good man. So, Mark, I already love you, man. I mean, I can probably throw that 6 point on the wall back there at you. I'll just throw your name out a few more times.
He'd measure it. He loves measuring deer.
I got that impression last night when I couldn't get him off the phone. I loved him, but by golly, I learned more about scoring a deer last night than I think. No, and honestly, I was on the edge of my seat.
He's a good dude. He's got a lot of information and willing to share it with anybody who wants to listen.
And he told me that too. He said last night, he's like, anybody that has any questions, he just loves to talk hunting. It doesn't even have to be about measuring this. He was talking about how he likes to help people, just give them advice on if you think you've got a bad shot on a deer. He's got enough experience that he knows, hey, that probably is the kind of blood you need to back out for a little bit and then come back in and try it. But this guy, he not only is he going to talk to us a little bit about measuring a deer and things like that, but in 2015, Mark Byrne had a horrible tree stand accident. And before I'm throwing this out there publicly, I did ask him, and he told me that I could, in fact, bring it up and that he would love for people to learn from his bad experience. So if you guys have any questions as this podcast is going on during the live feed, I'll be watching you over here in the chat box. Feel free to let me know if you guys have any questions for him. I'll bring them up to him. Anything you want to say before we get this guy on the line?
No, let's get him on the line, man. I'm getting anxious.
I'm thinking he's probably anxious too. He's texted me several times. Well, let's get this guy thing going, man. Let's go.
Text him back. Just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, we canceled. I'm going to text him, say we canceled it. Okay. You want me to say hi to him or you say hi to him?
No, you got it.
Okay.
I'll give you back.
What's up?
Hey, Mark Byrne. This is Justin Ham with the MLO Show. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can now. I'll turn my speaker on.
Oh, that's important. Speakers are important when you're having a phone call.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So you are currently on the You're on the podcast.
Alrighty.
And you've got David Dale and
What's up,
Justin
buddy?
Ham with you.
Hey, David.
What's up, man?
Not much.
How's your hunting going this year?
Slow.
Slow?
Was fast. It slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
Season's really starting to slow down. They're not moving very much.
It's got that warm front come through. Probably had a lot to do with it.
Oh, sure. I measured a deer today. I'm going to take a break tomorrow, and then Friday start it back up and see what I can shoot.
Good deal.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I think the audio's sounding pretty good. If anybody back watching this, if you can't hear us, just let us know, and we'll see if we can make some adjustments. But Mark, just want to kind of start this out running, hit the ground running here with this. I did a little intro before we called you on, and I talked about how your name is Mark Byrne from Owen County, Indiana, and that you are a Hoosier record buck measurer. This Mark, he measures for Buckmasters as well, and I even went into the tree stand accident that you had.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is just ask you a few questions, and then you can answer them the best you can, and then hopefully I'll have some people go ahead and ask some questions for you that they're going to have as well, and then we'll try to get them all answered for you. So I'm gonna start out here, just because I don't even know the answer to this, but why was there ever a need for a record book?
Well, it started out really not as something that they were wanting to record animals because they were disappearing from North America. It wasn't really to keep record of upcoming deer, if you will. It was more to preserve it for generations to come, because a lot of the big game was disappearing from the North America. And it eventually turned into a conservation tool, something to use to keep record of how deer, bears, elk, on and on, how it was doing in North America.
Okay, so it's not just for bragging rights.
That's right.
No, not really. It's more to honor the animal for what it grew.
I can
More than
respect
it is for really bragging rights. We do tend to say, well, my deer was this and my deer was that, but, it's the animals that grew it. We're just the ones that stopped the growing process, if you will.
Mm-hmm. What does a deer have to score to go into that Hoosier record book?
The Hoosier book, a typical deer is at 140, regardless of what the weapons are. Non-typical has to reach 160. And same goes for that. It doesn't matter what the weapons you use. It's all the same. Bow, gun, doesn't matter.
Okay. So, and is that what we were talking about last night? That does not include the inside spread on the deer?
With the Indiana book, it does. So Buckmasters, they rank it by total bone that it grows. They don't measure the inside spread as far as how the deer ranks.
Okay.
But they do use the inside spread in what they call the BTR. It stands for Buckmaster Trophy Records. And that's the final score that they give to the deer with the inside spread. But it's ranked just by the bone it grows. That's it. They have no deduction.
Okay.
They give full credit. So they don't have typical, non-typical. They have like a perfect, a typical, goes on like that. They got 4 different categories.
So when were you sitting around and made the decision that, hey, I want to be a Buckmaster measurer? I mean, what made you want to get into this?
Well, really, I didn't even think about it. I had killed a big buck in 2013 that I wanted to have measured with a bow. So I wanted to enter it Pope and Young's. I knew it'd make Pope and Young. And my wife and I went up to the deer and turkey show to get it measured. So I didn't know any measurers around, or I didn't know nothing about it, period. But they had a sign up there on the board that said that they were wanting people to take the measuring class. And Carol says, you ought to fill out one of those applications. And I'm like, nah, I don't know nothing about that. I don't want to get involved in that.
Right.
And, how women are, she kept it up.
Right.
So I thought, well, what the heck, to get her off my back, I'll fill it out and hand it in. They're not going to call me,
So
and
that,
it was a couple weeks later, and they called me. I went and took the class, and, I've really loved it ever since then.
that's awesome. And that deer that you shot in 2013 that you're wanting to get it scored, let's hear it. What it score at?
It was a 10-point mainframe. It had 2 stickers, which, had 12 scoreable points. It netted 132 in a net. And I shot it of an evening coming back home because it was too windy to hunt. And it was out there eating its dinner and didn't know I was sneaking up on it. I was walking down the fence line. I seen it out in the field eating beans. And it kept watching the road, and the wind was blowing in my face. It wasn't watching me.
Wow.
So I got about 50 yards from it, and I knew I could hit it. And I shot it. It heard that arrow go off and started to, head for dodge. When the arrow made contact, hit it right in the neck and dropped it. It's the biggest deer I killed body size. It was a monster.
That's awesome.
Big old fight spot.
That's awesome.
And I've been chasing the 180 incher ever since then.
Yeah,
I can't seem to kill it.
Neither can we. I thought I had one, then I had this guy measure it, and it wasn't even close to 180. His name was Mark Byrne.
Well, I always try to educate a lot of people off that, because you don't know what big deer are until you start hanging out with big deer.
Yeah.
And, I've learned that through all my scoring and stuff what big deer really are. I used to think what I was killing was big.
Yeah.
Well, I think I was killing pretty young deer.
Lesson learned, huh?
I hear you.
Yeah. Now I know what it really means to harvest a truly remarkable animal.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the 140s. I want to get to 180, so it's going to be a while.
Yep. We agree. Now, we're wondering about your cost, like if somebody wants to get a hold of you for your services and what you do. What would you charge, or what do you charge someone to score a buck?
For measuring, I do not charge, period. The only thing that I ask is that people donate money to cover the expenses I incur for measuring their deer. Say, gas.
Right, sure.
Stamps. I do a lot of mailing. I got a copy. I got print pictures. That's actually the hunter's responsibility for the pictures and stuff. But, I think that's, I know how to do all that. Most people don't sit around print pictures all the time.
Right.
So if I'm waiting on people to print pictures, I'm not going to be sending in very many deer.
Yeah. Yep.
So I do all the paperwork and print and all that for everybody. They just bring their deer. I explain the process to them. I do all the paperwork and send everything in, and all they got to do is give me a little bit of money.
So tell me this: what does it actually cost to, not your gasoline getting there, but just to get in that book? What's that cost?
All different. There's several different record books, and they all charge a different price.
Right.
The Indiana book is $15. It's the cheapest one you'll find. There isn't one cheaper than that. Pope and Young charges $35. Boone and Crockett charges $40. And both those are a buttload of paperwork that makes it really difficult. You got to have tag numbers and field photos and stuff like that. There's the Buckmasters is $25. It's pretty simple to enter that. Long Hunters has a muzzle loading book I don't know much about. But if I remember right, it's $25 to enter in there. It's for black powder guns only.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people enter into it.
It sounds like that's a pretty good business then. I think I might start my own book. I'm going to call it I'll call it the Justin Ham book, and I'll go all the way down to button bucks. I'll put you in the book for
$100.
I'll do it for $20. I'll put your name in my book for $20.
Well, I'll tell you something about spike bucks while you're on that. They're even measurable. You can measure them. A lot of people don't realize that, but they have an inside spread. You can measure their length, and you can measure their circumference because it's the center of each tine times 4, and you come up with a score. So if you shot a spike that had like 12-inch spikes, it could actually be measured.
Awesome.
I doubt it'd make a record book, but you never know.
Never know.
If it's enough mass and long enough, they might.
There's only one way to find out, and that's to call Mark Byrne.
That's right.
There you go.
So we were talking a minute ago, Mark, and you kind of touched on this, but how often do people argue with you when you come out and you tell them that their 160-inch deer they told you they killed only measured out at 140? How often do you get argued with?
Believe it or not, the older hunters I have problems with more than younger ones.
Really? Because they think they know it all?
Well, I don't know if it's that or not. It's just, some people take it kind of personal when they find out that they're trophy whitetails, a 2.5-year-old 130 class whitetail, which is pretty normal. The majority of deer killed are 2.5 and younger. A small percentage reach 3.5 or older. So, we see a lot of 130 class whitetails, believe it or not.
Well,
the one I measured today was it netted at 125. It grows at like 136 something.
Was that one you
so
had? You had the picture of you just posted.
Me?
Was that the one you just had a picture of that said?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I was close on my guess then.
So I tell you, this
it's really you got to use. There's a method to the madness, when you decide whether to shoot buck or not.
Yeah.
You can't be exact, but to me, 8-pointers generally aren't shooters.
Right.
They just don't. They don't have enough time to pick that score up if they're missing something.
That kind of led
some
me.
8-pointers do make.
That led me into my next question is how about we give everybody that's going to watch this video, how about we give them some field some field scoring tips?
What I think is really important that's easy to do is you make sure that its antlers are out past its ears. You got to look for tine height. If they're short tines, it's not going to measure good.
Right.
I like to see a deer with at least 10 tines.
10
if
tines.
It's got 8, it's got to have a lot of mass, and it's got to have tall tines to make it.
Okay.
I see a lot of 10-pointers that don't even hit 140 because the tines are so short.
Sure. So tell me this then. What you were talking about shooting a 10-pointer earlier that had a couple stickers. How long do those stickers have to be before they're actually measurable?
They have to be at least 1 inch. They have to be longer than they are wide, at least 1 inch from the top down. So like if you measure down 1 inch and it's 1.25 inches, it's not considered a point. See what I'm saying?
I'm trying to follow you. So they have to be longer than they are wide.
Right.
And at least
from 1 inch down or further.
Okay.
Because what happens is they're more of a bump thing.
Right.
And you notice that more in some of the other game animals that you do whitetails. Usually a deer, you don't have much problem with that. If it's over this long, it's just measurable.
Sure.
And a lot of times it hurts them.
The stickers actually hurt them?
It comes off more versus on it, but there's a lot of times difficult with it.
I understand. So what's the biggest buck that you remember measuring? I'm sure you'll remember exactly what it was too.
Yeah, I measured one from this last season. It measured 200 inches even, right on the money.
Right on the money.
200.
And that's a big whitetail no matter how you cut it.
Yep.
And it's going to be in Rack Magazine in Buckmaster. I
That's
don't know
awesome.
which issue, but it's up to you there.
Wow.
That's a great deer. So
Yeah, it is. Well, he said the one he's looking at for this season is bigger.
no joke.
And he sent me a picture a few days ago of one he shot. You know how pictures are easy, but
Yeah.
he claims it's bigger.
Wow.
That's incredible.
So I'll be measuring that pretty soon.
Oh wow. Same guy shooting 2 monsters. That's
Same
incredible.
guy, and he acts like he does it all the time.
No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal. Maybe we should be interviewing him sometime on this podcast.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine talking to someone.
I like to hunt with him.
Yeah, no
Heck,
joke.
the podcast.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. The way this season's been going for me, man, I don't even really see much purpose in sitting in my stand. My cameras aren't showing me anything, and I'm not seeing anything when I'm out there, but, you know, a few does here and there. I had about 20 turkeys under me yesterday. All exciting, but, man, I'd sure like to see a buck out there in my stand. That'd be awesome.
It'll turn around, man. I
Yeah.
got like that for a while. I didn't have anything on my camera. Then all the bucks start showing back out.
Yeah.
And it's all during the nighttime, the big boys.
Yeah.
That's why I'm taking a couple of days off to get both of them sprayed.
Yep. There you go.
They'll get the movement stuff.
Yeah. So, well, I got you on the line here. I know that we've talked about, you know, your scoring business and different things, and I want to let everyone know, you can always go and find Mark Byrne on his Facebook group, and it's called Hoosier Record Buck Measure. Hoosier Record Book.
Hoosier Record Book.
Right, I said
Official
buck. I meant book. Hoosier Record Book Measure. And he keeps a good, clean page. He was saying that he tries to keep everything business and professional. He didn't like cursing or anything like that on his page, which is admirable. What kind of topics are typically in your Facebook group?
Mostly hunting related. I have deleted some stuff that people have posted, and I try to be lenient.
Yeah.
I really don't like people selling stuff. You know, if they want to buy something, they know where to get it.
Right.
We've had some knife problems
Yeah.
where, you know, just people, tons of knives. Well, you know, nothing against people that make knives. I'm sure they're great knives, but, you know, the page is not for that.
Yeah.
I like it to stick to where people can learn from. And I think a lot of people have learned because, you know, they're seeing what these deer actually measure and stuff, to be able to see them online. It gives them an idea what they're doing. I try to, you know, preach a lot of people, let them grow. You know, people use that term, you know, well, the young bucks taste better. Well, the young does do too. You don't have to shoot the young bucks.
Yep.
And let them grow. Target the does and let the bucks get bigger.
Absolutely.
I really feel like that's something for entry-level hunters, women, children. You know, some of those guys have been hunting 30 years. We don't need to be shooting 6-pointers and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, it's legal. They can.
Yeah.
But, you know, it doesn't hurt for me to try to get them to grow as a hunter and start targeting older animals, too. And
Sure.
leave those 6-pointers for your neighbor's kid or for your grandkids or, you know, so they got something to enjoy in life, too.
Right.
Kill it all, it's gone.
You know, we have a lady on our team, Kayla, and I honestly kind of think she might out hunt me. So
She does.
yeah. So no shame in her game. She
She outhunts a lot of us.
she's been doing some pretty good work lately. She's been she just got her. Was it today that she made the post with the with her
European mount
European back? It's pretty neat. But yeah, dude, we're real. You before I hang up with you here, but you also measure sheds, correct?
Yes, you can. Buckmaster has a category for sheds.
Okay.
They have to measure 75 inches per antler.
That's a
You
huge
can enter
antler.
just one, or you can enter two.
Okay.
You don't have to have both sheds to enter.
So they can contact Mark Byrne if you find a monster shed that you think is going to measure out at 75 inches. Mark Byrne's your guy. Be sure to give him
And that's big.
Right. Look this guy up on Facebook. Join his group. I talked to him last night. This guy loves everything hunting related, so be sure
Yes, he does.
be sure to hit him up. But Mark, I just want to, we talked last night. You said you didn't mind I brought it up. Just a healthy, safe reminder for everyone. Tell us about 2015.
Yeah, October 1st, 2015, of an evening, I was going to stand in a staging area the deer were using, those were, and I did like every other hunter probably did that day, was shimmy up my tree stand without my safety belt. And when I stepped up onto the platform at 26.5 feet, the top strap broke.
Oh.
And I was facing the tree standing straight up. Had my backpack on my back, my weapon in the tree with the bow. And I fell and landed on my feet. And I broke several bones, including my back, which ended my work career. So now I get to hunt whenever I want to. So it's not always a bad thing. But the bad thing could have been I got lifeline and died.
That could have been horrible.
Things that a lot of people take for granted doing, I can no longer do. So by the grace of God, I walk and I can hunt.
Yeah.
But, I pay for it. My back swells up. I got to ask for help, doing things. I got to learn to say no. I have trouble sleeping, and I still have trouble walking after all these years.
Changed your whole life.
I get out of bed and I pay for it. I'm in a lot of pain. So it's no joke. I could have died just the same, but I got lifeline.
So
just really fortunate that I survived.
When you fell out of that stand and you hit the ground, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Well, I can remember all of it just as vivid as could be. It's really hard to believe. But when the strap broke, I knew I was in trouble. I can still remember it breaking. And it's kind of like, oh, crap. And on the way down, I can still remember trying to keep my balance. It's just a reaction, you fall. For some reason, people want to land on their feet.
Yeah.
I'd probably been all right if I landed on my head, not my feet, but I don't think it could have done much damage. But when I hit the ground, what it reminded me more of anything, and I can still remember it, like lion just pounced on me. You could taste the dirt in the air, and of course it was weeds and stuff like that, but it's just like something powerful. You scratch and pounce on what it felt like.
Right.
And I could remember everything until I got help. Then when I got help, the only thing I remember is taking off in a helicopter, waking up in the hospital. It's excruciating pain.
I bet it was painful.
How did you get help?
Pardon me?
How did you get help?
Really, I don't know how I did it, but my phone was in my backpack. I've always been real safety conscious.
Uh-huh.
I always let people know where I'm hunting. I've hunted alone for years. And I called my girlfriend, told her, hey, I fell out of the tree. I need to go to the hospital. I broke my back.
Oh, man.
I could feel the pressure on my back. I broke it. But, the way I sounded, she thought, no big deal.
Yeah.
He's all right. So she drove over there around the lake and stuff, came back there. And, of course, when she got there, she knew I was in trouble.
Yeah.
And, about after that, it was just a blank. The pain, I went into shock and don't really remember anything.
Yeah.
But it's, like 2 weeks after I fell, another guy fell 20 foot. He passed away.
Oh, man.
I've heard story, I deal with the DNR a lot, stuff about guys, laying on their feet like I did, get compound fractures where the bone goes, out their skin, through their boots, sticking out there and nowhere land.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. With today's safety belt, there's absolutely no reason why you should be selfish enough to climb a tree without a safety belt on. It's just an act of selfishness.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you fall, you get hurt, the people that love you, they're the ones who pay the price. You know, I mean, it's just extremely selfish not to spend that $115.
Yes.
Ensure that you come home to your family benign.
Right.
You know, they're concerned with the restriction. You know, if I wear a safety belt, I can't shoot a bow. I kill a lot of deer with a safety belt on now, with a bow.
Right.
I've never had one that got my way. So that's something I'd really like to see people start wearing them more. I'm trying to start a nonprofit to where kids that graduate the hunter safety course,
Yeah.
that they can get like a coupon or something to where they can take it to a particular store in their area, say Bass Pro Shop maybe, to where they can get them a safety belt. So, you know, their dad don't have to say, well, I don't wear one, you don't need one.
Yep.
You know, there's no reason why a kid won't have a safety belt.
Great idea.
Passed. And I'm planning on it passing, you know, not me running a giant show, but just catching on across, you know, all North America where people are doing this to make sure these kids have safety belts. And then we don't have to worry about the future of hunting falling out of trees.
Yeah.
Because the kids are the future. And without them, you know, the sport disappears.
You know, here's the thing for today, Mark, and I probably learned just as much about how to measure a deer as I did just how much I remembered how important it is to wear a safety belt. So I appreciate you sharing your story. I had a couple of questions here, and I think I've already got the answer to them. John was asking, how long have you been hunting? And we talked about that last night. This guy's been hunting for over 40 years. That's
been a long time.
That's longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, right.
Not
yeah, I'm
David,
56,
though.
and I can remember, you know, deer hunting when there wasn't any deer.
Right.
Not where I hunted. I grew up in Greenwood, and I didn't start killing deer until I went down to southern Indiana, you know, down Hoosier National Forest.
Right.
And then I found out what hunting was. You kill a deer out there in the middle of nowhere, you got your work to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to get them out down there.
Yeah, I bet.
But, you know, now, since I jumped out of a tree and broke my body, I can only hunt around my house. You know, I can't hunt big woods. I can't walk out there and walk back. So,
Yeah.
Sure.
but yeah, I got a good piece of property to hunt in. So, you know, I'm happy with it. But I think a lot of good has happened for my misfortune. You know, a lot of good's happened because a lot of people tell me, you know, hey, I wear a safety belt now after hearing about you. You know, my neighbors and stuff, they replace straps on their stands. You know, a lot of people talk about, you know, it brings it home. You can fall. You might go hunting. That might be your last day on this earth.
You never know.
Man. Or your last day hunting.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of selfish. I want to keep hunting as long as I can, so I wear a safety belt when I hunt.
Absolutely.
I fall, it'll catch me. I'll get back on my stand and say, woo, that was close. I'll go home and I'll call the place I got the safety belt out and have them send me a new one.
That's right.
There you go.
And I get to hunt tomorrow.
That's right.
Mark, it's
something
been...
I'd like to throw in on all that. I'm really conservation cautious.
Yep.
I really like to be involved in the outdoors. I think it's good for people. Kids and women are something I really have a passion to try to get them involved. And if there's any way I can help anybody with anything that's got to do with hunting, any questions, anything, I'd be more than happy to help. You know, I know a lot of people, and I have resources to find people places to hunt or to find people to hunt with them or education as far as hunting or something to that effect.
That's awesome.
So, you know, it doesn't have to, people, you still have to sit at home and say, well, I want to. You know, they need to ask. And
Yep. So, Mark, we loved having you on, man. We're going to go ahead and hang up with you, but again, his Facebook group is Hoosier Record Book Measurer.
Hoosier Record Book Official Measure.
Official measure.
And I got cards out everywhere. I don't care if you guys give out any of my contact information.
Okay.
You know, it's everywhere. everybody has. It's all over Indiana, so I'm not concerned with it.
All right,
But
buddy.
anybody can call me anytime they want. They can text me, ask me questions. Where can I get this done or that done or whatever? And if I don't know, I'll find somebody that's done.
Right on.
I'll probably ask one of you guys.
You better ask
guys
David.
seem to
Don't
know a
ask
lot of
me this
people.
year. Yeah.
You're too busy.
Yeah. No, I'm not too busy. David's the one having all the luck out there. Or I'm not going to call it. Maybe it's just skill. I'm going to say it's luck.
It's luck. It's
No, I
definitely luck.
know David well enough to know I don't think it's skill. I think it's luck.
Oh, man. Push stop.
I agree with this guy.
Probably the biggest part of deer hunting is luck.
That's
You
right.
can be in a part of the country that's got some of the biggest deer there is. If somebody don't throw in a little bit of luck with it,
Yep.
you're never going to see that deer.
Right.
They got a big habit of sitting on their butt during the day. So,
Yep.
luck plays a big part.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to hit it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I
I
always
know
say,
the people with good luck, but they got bad luck when they squeeze the trigger because they're too nervous.
I got that in
They
coyote
get
hunting.
buck fever.
I get coyote fever.
That guy asked me, this is something on a different note, a guy who's going to hunt with me. Later on, he said he asked me if he minded if he shot some of the smaller bucks, like in the 130s. I said, I prefer you do. That leaves the bigger bucks for me.
There you go.
I'm not going to argue with somebody wanting to shoot something in the 130. Go ahead.
Have
I'm
at
wanting
it.
something bigger, so you pass the big ones, and I'll take the big ones, and you shoot the small ones,
That's right.
and we'll both be happy.
That's right.
Everybody's happy. Everybody wins. So
Yeah. Well, after a while, you just want big bucks.
Yeah.
You can only get them one way. That's a small buck.
Yep. You got to pass those small bucks, and you got to put your time in out there. So
Exactly.
And you're not
You
going to
got
shoot.
you can't just hunt when the weather's nice.
Nope, and you can't
you
shoot 'em
gotta-
from the couch.
No, some people think they can talk them into their front yard now. If they talk about it enough online, they'll get them the big one. You hunting today? No, but I'm thinking about you. I'll be out next week.
Yeah.
Those are guys who don't kill very many deer. But,
Yeah.
some people do got obligations. I've been there where I couldn't hunt much.
yeah.
Yep.
And now, I've made it big part of my life to hunt and to teach people about it. So I'll try to, if I measure deer, you're going to get some education whether you want to or not. Because I'm going to explain things to you and I'm going to talk the whole time. So you'll learn something. It might be useless information, but
But you're going to tell them anyway.
if there is a such thing.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to tell. I always try to teach everybody I can about antlers. Because a lot of people don't know.
Nothing wrong with that.
For one, I got a trivia question. Why do they call the G1 on a deer the G1?
You're going to have to help me out.
Nobody knows, do they?
It's from the.
It's on line G1.
It's what?
Believe it or not, on the score form, it's on line G1. So they call it a G.
Oh, it's on line G1.
It's on line G1 on the Boone and Crockett score form.
Well,
So
see,
you got,
I knew
G1,
that.
which is for Alpine, then G2, G3, G4. So they'll go, man, these guys are big G2s. Well, you could call it a second point, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's copyrighted by Buckmaster. Now, or not Buckmaster, Boone and Crockett. Both I'm getting all tongue-tied. Boone and Crockett has it copyrighted for their score form. Buckmasters calls it point 1, point 2, point 3 in that manner because they can't use Boone and Crockett's scoring method.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Because it's copyrighted. So they came up with their own, which it has its place. It's different, but yet the same. It's just a different method of scoring. It'll help some deer that, got a lot of deductions. It'll help them to get into a record book. It gives them a place to be recognized because some of these deer do need to be recognized. They don't make,
Absolutely.
some of the other bucks.
Right.
If it gets up to 140 some inches, it deserves a pat on the back.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
it's your turn.
Mark, we love you, dude. Thanks for coming on tonight. And
Hey, man, I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some more
Any-
people to send over to your way and check out your page, and hopefully you'll have a few more deer to measure. Hopefully I'll have one for you this weekend
He will.
to
Well,
measure.
I'm hoping you do. I'll be out. I'm gonna start back up Friday, and I'll be out a few days. It's gonna be pretty warm, but
Yep.
you know, deer dying when it's warm too. You know, they still move, especially this time of year.
Right.
Yep.
It was just a few years ago. I remember gun hunting in a t-shirt.
Oh,
So
boy.
you know,
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't stop. It just means you got to get them somewhere quick. You know, pull them down.
That's right.
That's about it. But deer meat tastes the same.
That's right.
You can wipe off the fly poop.
That's right. Well, we appreciate you, dude, taking time out, talking to
I
us.
appreciate you guys too, man.
Laying
I
all,
appreciate being on.
laying all your knowledge on us.
Anything I do to help, guys.
Right on.
We appreciate you, dude. Have a good night, Mark.
You do. Take care, guys.
See ya. So that was Mark Byrne, and I like him.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, so
Full of knowledge.
he's an older guy, and he knows what he's talking about. And when it comes to this deer hunting industry, him and David, they're the same age.
56. We're real close. I'm 2 years older. Than
Yeah,
him.
you're 2 years younger. You're 54.
Oh, I was looking at it wrong.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
So no, honestly, David's a little bit younger than that, but not a whole lot. Snow camo. The
Snow
proof is in
camo.
the snow camo.
That's right.
In that beard. But anyways, guys, we hope that you enjoyed Mark's interview. And if you didn't learn anything about the Hoosier record book or Buckmaster scoring, I really hope that you learned something when it comes to the tree stand safety portion.
Absolutely.
I don't even want to tell you, but sometimes I go into my tree stand without my safety belt.
I wear it every single time.
Sometimes I do, but you know what? Because of Mark Byrne, I've been inspired, and I'm not gonna. That's no longer a part of my life.
No longer.
Nope. Mark Byrne. He may save my life today.
Hey,
So
that's why he likes sharing that story, because it probably does get somebody out there. You
Yep.
know what? That's right. I need to wear that.
And I'll tell you the main reason that I don't wear it is because the trees that I set up in, I put it on the biggest, fattest oak tree or whatever I can find, and I can't ever get my strap around that oak tree. But you know what? I'm just going to figure it out.
You need a big tree to hide your
I
big
do.
old self.
It takes a big tree to hide me. So, John was asking, and I can't pronounce your last name. Do you know John Delinquent? John Delinquent? Is that it? He was wanting to know how long MLO's been around.
Deliquent.
Deliquent.
I don't know. Sounds French.
Del-
Deliquent.
yeah, Deliquent.
How long has it been around?
How long has MLO been around?
2013.
2013.
Right?